All right, good evening, Granddaddy P here. Earlier today, I said I would discuss and explain the current bookings of IYO SKY. If you're like me, you're a little bit upset because since July, they've basically been having her not win. Let's look at that real quick, and then we'll continue. On July 13th, Evolution number 2. She and Rhea Ripley fought for 25 minutes, and then Naomi cashed in the bank and stole the title. So IYO SKY lost her championship on July 13th. At SummerSlam, even though she got to be the one who comes out last of the three of them, the Stars position, Naomi retained by rolling up Rhea Ripley. Okay. Now, WrestlePalooza, empty title. IYO SKY is booked and she loses to Stephanie Vaquer, a newcomer to the main roster. And it was basically Stephanie Vaquer's first singles match in which there was an actual ending to and result. So in her first match, she wins the title from IYO SKY. And IYO SKY fans are going to go, oh, it's okay. Well, no, we don't think it's okay. But that brings us to the present. IYO's been losing at opportune times. And, of course, her fans are not going to be happy about it. I wasn't happy about it. I'm still not really happy about it. If you're a fan, you always want to see your guy or gal win. But this is professional wrestling, and it doesn't happen. Okay, so let's see where we are, where we're going, and why. Why on earth would they have an international legend, IYO SKY, a Grand Slam champion in WWE, IYO SKY, a Grand Slam champion in Stardom, IYO SKY? Why would they have her lose to a newcomer in her first singles match, and it's for the championship, in Stephanie Vaquer? The title had been IYO SKY's until the cash-in. And that was done so they didn't have to come to an ending with the IYO SKY Rhea Ripley feud or rivalry, whatever you want to call it. They didn't want it to end yet. So that's still going. So, what happens now, and why is IYO SKY evidently continuing to lose? Well, let's see where we're going. Right now we have the new feud with IYO SKY and Rhea Ripley against the Kabuki Warriors, Asuka and Kairi Sane. This is basically the storyline of Raw right now. Stephanie Vaquer isn't getting anything. She's going to do that crown jewel thing, that bragging rights little championship that means nothing. One of them will win and get a ring, either her or Stratton. But she's not on TV. She's not wrestling. She's in a holding pattern. While everything is revolving still around IYO SKY now and Rhea Ripley. So, where do we go from there? Well, this feud is going into Perth, which is Crown Jewel. And I guess there'll be something above that will hopefully be a finish. I don't know how much longer they could keep that up after they have a match. But that's where that's going. That gives, now, in this booking, that gives IYO SKY a front and center, high visibility, arc, storyline without a belt. It also does the same thing for Rhea Ripley, who, by the way, is going to Australia as well with IYO, and all of them. Perth is Crown Jewel, and that's in Australia. That's where Rhea Ripley is from. So they're also giving Rhea Ripley a high-vis storyline for the home crowd. But what happens after that? Well, I'll tell you what happens after that. And it doesn't look good for IYO SKY. Now, I'll explain. Right after, or a week after, several days after Perth, Crown Jewel, there's a 2-night super show in Tokyo, Japan. In the very same stadium that Stardom uses, and that was home to IYO when she was there. Now, night 1, there's a championship match. What? Well, first of all, we know that championships don't change at super shows, house shows, road shows. They only change on TV in Canada. That's either TV or PLEs. So, but there is a championship match, and it's a triple threat match again. What happens at triple threat matches? People get protected somehow, right? All right, well, Julia or Guila or whatever her name is, Giulia, I can't pronounce that name. She came to WWE from Japan. She's half Italian, half Japanese, I believe, and that's where she was raised, in Japan. She was with Stardom before coming over, or Marigold, I'm not sure which, but either one of them, she came over here. I think it was Marigold. So she is a Japanese star, as well as a WWE star. And right now she holds the United States Women's Championship. It's a mid-card title. It's not the WWE Women's Championship. It's not the Women's World Championship from Raw. It is a mid-card title. And she's been basically feuding with Mia Yim, who's also a very good wrestler in her own right. And they need to boost her. But they want to give the title some class. What better way than to have her go up against two of the best, as in Rhea Ripley, and of course, the best, IYO SKY. So you're going, oh my gosh, who's going to win? Is IYO going to win? Is Rhea going to win? Well, on night 2, here's your answer. On night 2, Julia or Guila or whatever her name is also defending that very same title against Kairi Sane. Well, that means you have to have one on night 1. Who will take the pin? Will there be a pin? If there's a pin, somebody's got to take it. Is it IYO SKY in her hometown? Is it Rhea Ripley? The Eradicator? You see what's going on here? Bottom line, no matter who takes the pin, it's not a win. So IYO goes into another match and loses. If you don't win, you lose. From there, on night 2, they have a feel-good tag team match against Raquel Rodriguez and Roxanne Perez. It's just a feel-good to leave with. But 8 days later, IYO SKY goes into Marigold. And what does she do in Marigold? She has a prominent match against Mayu Iwatani, the current ace of Marigold. And IYO SKY is her senior. Do you think she's going in there to win at a Marigold production? She'd already went there last year and beat a champion. She's going to go win a second time at Marigold? No. IYO SKY is being booked to lose that match. How do I know? Because I just do. Look at the way she... go back and look at her promo. It's obvious. She's going there to lose, to put over her junior, Iwatani, and to boost Marigold. She's basically going there to drop the match in the ceremonial Senpai Kohai last match arc. And the idea is to lift the Kohai up. Kohai was mentored so well that she beat her Senpai, IYO. And so by doing so, honors the Senpai. So IYO SKY will go into Marigold to lose, to be honored. I understand that because I lived in Korea for 10 years. I understand Asian culture. Westerners aren't going to understand that. And WWE probably will never mention it again. But the point is, since July of this year, IYO SKY has been repeatedly booked to lose, 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 and lose. 5 major events she will lose. They'll probably win one. They'll win 2. One being the PLE tag team with Rhea, and the other being the Super Show tag team against Roxanne and Raquel. Now, everything outside of Perth realistically does not count in WWE canon. Obviously, Julia is going to retain the title because titles don't change at these road shows. But it's going to give it a little bit of a boost. So, why? What's going on? They're using IYO SKY as a talent enhancer, gatekeeper, so to speak. She's kind of doing what Natalya's been doing, but to a lesser degree. But the problem is, if they keep it up, she will turn into an Natalia. So what happens now? What happens after October? She's basically been booked to lose. Think about this. The best wrestler on the roster. The only international legend on the roster. Period. Has been booked to lose 5 times since July. Why? Because she is that talent that can enhance other people. If you need somebody to beat, you beat an IYO, unfortunately. But what happens next? Something has to happen next. There has to be a redemption arc. There has to be a payback. IYO SKY is doing all these things for other people, to include people outside of WWE, to include entire wrestling companies. She is doing the sacrificing for all of this. After October, after Perth and after Japan, they're going to have to start bringing her on board and giving her some wins. They've changed her to a babyface. Full 100% swing, and she likes it, by the way. They're going to have to start giving her some wins, and then down the road, they're going to have to give her another title shot. My guess is, now we're past the real booking, and now we're on to trying to read the future. My guess is she will beat Stephanie Vaquer somewhere down the road. And that will set up the final arc between IYO SKY and Rhea Ripley, because that is unfinished business as well. So that's where I think we're going. So why did they take the title away from her? Because, and she had it up until July. Why did they do that? Because when you're the champion, you have the belt, and you have to defend the belt, and it kind of crimps your style, so to speak. They can't do whatever they want with you because you're stuck with the belt. It can get boring. But you take that belt away from someone, now you can put them into non-title matches, feuds. I mean, look at the Asuka Sane feud against IYO and Rhea. That couldn't happen with the belt. The belt gets in the way. Then in Japan, when you want to use IYO and Rhea to boost Julia and the U.S. title, if IYO had the belt, it gets in the way. A person holding the Women's World Championship doesn't go for the United States Championship. You see what I mean? And then, of course, if you send her to Marigold, which they're doing, you can't send her as the Women's World Champion. You can't send the Women's World Champion of WWE into Marigold to lose and put over her junior. Can't do it. So they had to take the belt away. And by the way, the Marigold thing, it's hard for Westerners to understand. But realize this is something that IYO SKY requested. Marigold asked for it too, but IYO SKY requested it, and requested it be done this way. She must lose. In the Japanese mindset, in the Japanese culture, she must lose the match to Mayu Iwatani. It's the last chapter. It's the senpai, the mentor, being surpassed by the kohai, the one being taught. And the senpai is only honored when she has taught her junior to surpass her. And that is a super big honor in Japan, and that will be given to IYO SKY. That's what it's about. In the process, Mayu gets lifted, and Marigold is on the map because IYO SKY was there twice. So everybody wins, and IYO is honored. I know it's hard for us Westerners to understand. You're sending her to another company to lose, and she's being honored? Absolutely. Absolutely. That's Japan. That's Joshi wrestling. But you couldn't put a belt on her and have her do that. So, folks, that's the reasoning behind the current bookings of IYO SKY. I still don't like my girl losing. I wanted her to be the champion. But if you think and look, you can see and understand. And that's what I'm doing. All right. Grace and peace, folks. Talk to you later. Granddaddy P out.